Tonight, we put aside all of the policy fights in Washington, D.C. you've been hearing about with the fake news and all of that. You know, I go to Washington, and I see all these politicians, and I see the swamp, and it's not a good place. In fact, today I said we ought to change it from the word swamp to the word cesspool, or perhaps to the word sewer. Hopefully, he's going to get the votes tomorrow to start our path toward killing this horrible thing known as Obamacare that's really hurting us. By the way, you going to get the votes? Hope so. He better get them. He better get them. Oh, he better. Otherwise, I'll say, Tom, you're fired. As the Scout law says, a Scout is trustworthy, loyal. We could use some more loyalty, I will tell you that. What do you think the chances are that this incredible, massive crowd, record-setting, is going to be shown on television tonight? 1% or 0? The fake media will say, President Trump spoke, and you know what this is. President Trump spoke before a small crowd of Boy Scouts today. We won and won. So when they said, there is no way to victory, there is no way to 270. You know, I went to Maine 4 times because it's one vote, and we won. But we won. One vote. I went there because I kept hearing we're 269. But then Wisconsin came in. Many, many years. Michigan came in. So, and we worked hard there. You know, my opponent didn't work hard there. Under the Trump administration, you'll be saying Merry Christmas again when you go shopping, believe me. Merry Christmas.
Fear not, Mr. President. We're going to air that speech, not just to a big crowd, but to a big audience. That, of course, was President Trump's address to Boy Scouts, many of whom are too young to vote, and the National Scout Jamboree last night. A speech the president promised would not touch policy or politics, but then included his effort to repeal Obamacare, attacks on the media, a dig at his predecessor, former President Obama, a former Boy Scout himself, and a rehash of his victory last November. President Trump made several references to the Scouts Law, which states that a Scout is, among other things, friendly, courteous, kind, and obedient. It is a law followed by more than 2.3 million Scouts nationwide and was adhered to by at least 24 Republican senators and members of Congress, including House Speaker Paul Ryan. Another prominent former Scout, I got to point this out, wasn't there last night, the president's own Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson. He is a former president of the Boy Scouts of America. His father worked for them too, and according to Vice News, quote, Rex Tillerson shines when he is given the opportunity to talk about the Scouts, and he has said, there's nothing I would rather spend my discretionary time doing than talking about the Boy Scouts. The Scouts actually put together a statue in Rex Tillerson's honor earlier this year. So Rex Tillerson doesn't like to talk to the press, but certainly, sir, we would love to hear your thoughts on President Trump's speech last night to those Boy Scouts. But for now, we're going to get quite another special voice. Roland Martin, the man who always brings the funk, host and managing editor of NewsOne Now. Roland.
And by the way, a former Scout yourself, right, Roland?
Lord, no, because I couldn't wear those uniforms. They just couldn't do it. My daddy said, you can't dress like that. No. I'm just I almost became a Cub Scout, but I was just way too busy. I was trying to be a journalist when I was in the 3rd grade.
All right, well, you're a journalist now. What's your take on what happened last night?
Let's just be clear. Our president is childish. He is petty. That speech was despicable, and it was shameful. To go there to talk about some rich guy, all the hot people were at a party, really? I mean, if I'm a parent with a child who is a Boy Scout or Cub Scout, I don't want to send them there to listen to that man and the things that he had to say. Also, Stephanie, you read the 12 points of the Scout Law. There are 12. Trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. If you're Jeff Sessions, you're probably saying, Trump not loyal. If you're saying trustworthy, we keep hearing about Russia and all the lies coming out. If you said friendly, we know how he grabs women by their body parts. And then if you say courteous, kind, and obedient, we probably can skip those too. And so it's shameful to have a president who can't even abide by the very Scout
Roland,
laws.
I take issue with that. Thrifty is on that list, and if you recall, donors are paying for Don Jr.'s legal bills. So I got you there.
So the organizers of the Jamboree sent out a notice to all the various scouts that are going to be there and their leaders and said, you can help make the president's visit a success by ensuring that any reaction to the president's address are, as we state in our Scouts law, friendly, courteous, and kind. Please help us ensure that all scouts can enjoy this historical address by making sure your troop members are respectful not only of the president but of the wide variety of viewpoints held by scouts and scouters in the audience tonight. So the scouts had instructions about how to be respectful.
Right.
This man can make anything political, right? Right after his inauguration, went to the CIA, a place where respect is paid by presidents to the fallen, unnamed CIA employees who have died, and he made that political.
Here's the deal. Large rallies for Donald Trump, that's his crack. He is addicted to it. He is a crackhead when it comes to large crowds. No, follow me here. No, follow me, Stephanie. Stephanie.
Hold on.
Follow me here.
We're talking about being respectful.
No, I know, but follow me here.
Hold on a second. No, this is the president of the United States.
When
if you want to say he's an adrenaline addict, if you want to say this fires him up, fine. You're not going to say it's his crack.
That's his fix. Fine. When he gets in front of a large crowd, he loses it. The CIA, this one here, it doesn't matter. Oh, the big win. I won this state. I couldn't win. He did not spend the time talking about public service, what you should do for the country. It's all him, him, him. America would like to see the president of the United States act like it. And we keep saying, people were saying, oh, it's going to change him. No, it's not. We're 6 months in, and it's not going to change him. He's 71 years old. He's going to keep doing this. And you sat there and you listened to it, and it was horrible. And I had Boy Scouts, people who are now adults, saying, is that what you want to hear? So here's the question. Can we trust this president to speak to America's young? Or is he simply going to trash President Obama, a Boy Scout? Is he going to trash former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton? Is he going to sit here and joke about hot people at parties? I'm sorry. That was despicable. And I would like to respect the president, but can he please respect the office?
All right, then, Roland Martin, I'll tell you, my mother who voted for President Trump, she herself was disgusted by last night's speech. He's given another rally tonight to a huge crowd in Ohio.
He's going to get a fix tonight.
He's certainly going to get a fix.
That's his fix.
We're going to stick with fix. Roland, I thank you for coming. I do wish you'd come out of your shell a little bit when you come on TV with us.
I'm trying. I'll be a little bit more forthright next time.